talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Ow, we're babbling on. We're babbling on.
Can you quickly paint what we have in front of us?
Yes, we have...
Maybe you want to scoot a little closer.
Yeah. We have 2 mugs. One is a Snoopy mug, and
Yep.
the other is a Grinch mug. And they are filled with hot chocolate
Yes.
and whipped cream and chocolate sauce on top. And
Oh, yours
Candy
just
cane.
bubbled.
that's the whipped cream melting.
And then you also added in
Schnapps,
and
vodka.
yeah. And the reason
Get used to that sound.
and well, actually first let me just introduce who we have today. You might recognize this voice already if you listen to parts 1 and 2 of our deep dive into the Twilight Saga. Today we're joined by our chief film critic here at the Babbling On Institute, Mr. Natalie Price.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back.
Welcome back
Thank you.
to the Babbling On Institute.
I'm very excited to be back and to be talking about
What are you babbling on about?
something other than Twilight.
I know.
Finally.
I know. Well, there's been a little bit of a teaser regarding the boozy hot chocolates with the Snoopy and Grinch mugs and the candy canes. If you haven't deduced by
giveaway.
now, though, what's the babbling sitch today?
We're talking Christmas movies.
Mhm.
Christmas films.
Some are phrasing it Battle of the Christmas Movies.
That's true. We each brought our strongest warriors.
Yep, although we do not support war
Uh-uh.
at all.
Only in a situation like this.
But before we do that, obviously you know it's coming, the 8, although I kind of want to make it Christmas characters for the 8. I'm trying to adapt the 8 to fit the theme.
Okay.
So which
Okay.
Christmas character are you basically?
Of all of them?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I am...
I know.
I'm the Grinch because I was just in Florida.
Oh yeah.
And they go so hard for Christmas. I've never seen so many people.
Wait, really? Why?
dressed.
That's
I
not
don't
even
know.
snowy.
I don't know. That's exactly
Freaks.
what I. So I feel like the Grinch because
Oh,
for
you
the
were
last
like
few days
poo-poo.
I've just been like, this is messed up. There was an ice skating rink outside my hotel.
Wouldn't it melt?
That's like it would.
How
were
would-
it not
so were
for
people-
dark forces
Right.
at play.
I mean, it's the same as AI. Like, I'm sure there's like a water bottle for every time you type a word.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm feeling the Grinch. I don't, and that's why I wanted to make these drinks. I wanted to get a little bit more into the
Yeah.
holiday spirit. I didn't want to bring.
I love it. It tastes so good, and I'm already feeling like much more
my
relaxed.
heart is growing.
10 sizes
Yeah.
that day.
Exactly.
My character, spoiler alert for what's to come, I think I would be Snow Miser, which you don't know about him yet, but I'll explain him. Or Clarice from Rudolph,
Yeah.
who's the horny, desperate girl who keeps getting like rejected by Rudolph.
A girl is in love with Rudolph.
Oh my god. I mean, maybe I just need to start here.
Yeah. Let's get it over with.
Let's just go. So, Battle of the Christmas Movies, we each have a few nominees to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Should I say mine first then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a trinity of claymation Christmas movies that unfortunately you haven't seen, and many haven't. I bet we grew up watching these, and one is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is where Clarice comes from. They're claymation, so it's these little like stop motion, they're actually not clay, they're like felt, but stop motion reindeer, and Clarice is a female reindeer who gets hard for Rudolph, but they're like 7.
Are these
years
American
old.
made?
I think so. And they're each like 45 minutes. They're not like feature length. But they have all of these amazing songs in them. Like in this one, there's a dentist elf who's like, why am I just a misfit? Why am I just a misfit? I can't find any reindeer. Why don't I fit in? Have you never heard that?
No. It sounds like a bop.
It's bop-ish.
I've heard the one through TikTok that blew up. That I'm Mr.
Sea
Snow
Miser.
For some reason,
So there's
that
Heat
really
Miser
had a
and
moment.
Snow Miser.
Uh-huh.
And like, we're going to have to dive deeper into these, but just to give you the lay of the land, that one is from Year Without a Santa Claus, which is when Santa like decides to take the year off, and it actually goes to Florida and it's like hot. And Snow Miser and Heat Miser live in the clouds. One is the Ice King, one is the Heat King, and they're weather gods.
These sound amazing.
They're amazing. They're so weird. And then the other one is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is Santa's origin story. And that's where you've maybe seen the like Nicole Kidman looking woman in the woods. That's his wife who becomes Mrs. Claus. I say Claus, not Klaus, like definitely. And same with in Series of Unfortunate Events, I would say Claus, Violet, and Sunny. What are your first nominees?
I'm bringing to the table The Family Stone. That is my favorite Christmas movie. And it's underrated, I just learned.
It's so
but
good.
I looked up on the internet. It has like a 50%
Are you kidding?
Rotten Tomato. I know. But everyone I've talked to about it loves it, and it's beloved on gay Twitter. So that was shocking to
I watched
me.
it last night with a friend of the pod, Cole Doman, and it's really good. And I do want to say, like, we're each going to make the case for why these movies are the best Christmas movie of all time. And at the end, we're going to see if we're swayed.
Okay.
But I will say, no spoils, like, watching it last night, I kind of am already swayed.
The case is the film itself. Yeah. It's like, did you cry your eyes out?
I did. Or dim.
Jury, we're
And
ready
I laughed hard.
whenever the verdict is ready.
No, but
I'm
there's
ready.
still,
I've
I do
presented my
believe in
case.
debate. I believe in the court of law.
Okay. Mhm.
Well, sort of.
Save it. Okay. So that's my first one. Family
Okay.
Stone. And then my...
Well, yeah.
Introduce your second one right now.
Because mine were a trinity because those three all kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Although if I did have to rank them,
You don't.
it's kind of hard to do actually because they're all like good in different ways. And then my next one is also kind of, it's a duet, and that's Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
Right.
Which I would actually say I like more than the Trinity, but naturally the Trinity came out first. Home Alone 2, directed by Christopher Columbus, who also directed Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of
Wondering
Secrets.
where I saw that name.
And he also did a bunch of other things, but he's T, and these movies are like inarguably classic.
They are.
And Macaulay, you know, it's
Yeah.
a shame he never quite, I mean, people might drag me through the coals,
yeah.
but like he never quite delivered another star maker on that level, I think.
Not that I'm aware of. I've started to make peace though with Hollywood not offering everybody careers that are hit after hit after hit, because that would be monotonous and boring. Like,
and also take away from
the joy of movies is you get to see these bizarre, strange people come in and then they shine so brightly. And you know, the director of Family Stone never did anything as big as that. And the Family Stone.
Who did direct Family?
His name is Bazooka. Is his last name or Bazoocha?
Don't let me be caught laughing at a name.
I
And
know.
yet,
But
here we
that
go.
one is funny.
I know. It's
Thomas Bazoocha or Bazooka.
I mean, it's a beautifully directed
I think
film.
that's just. It is.
It's a great movie. What's your other nominations?
My other nomination is Die Hard.
Yeah, which I finished this morning.
Oh, good. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an erotic film to me.
Very.
It's so
like
sexy.
very
He's just
hot.
like covered in sweat and naked and like fondling a gun, and gun culture.
And
but
the
in
bad
this
guys
case.
are very hot.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, yeah. I have a note written down about like the Russian blonde guy with the glasses is like the most sexual to ever do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you had one more nom as well?
I was going to say The Holiday, but upon further reflection, that movie is actually, it's kind of messed up.
I watched it. I didn't finish it, but I've seen it before this morning. I did a huge
You did some
binge.
work.
And yeah, like, it's kind of bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. And so one thing I do want to say off the bat is it's a Nancy Meyers film. And listeners who heard the You've Got Mail episode, a Nora Ephron film, will maybe have clocked that the whole time I did that episode, I thought I was talking about Nancy Meyers.
Oh.
I mixed
and now,
up.
Yeah. Hasn't Nancy Meyers tackled Nora Ephron works before?
How so?
I think through, you're going to have to come back. Listeners,
You
right
mean
in.
like they
Like,
collaborated?
I think Nora Ephron's work has been adapted into a film that Nancy has directed before.
We'll have to check on that.
We'll have to
By the way, I'm already halfway through this, so
Okay.
that means I'm 2 shots of
with me.
schnapps in. So we're gonna be having fun on this one.
Mhm.
There's obviously a bunch of others, but those are our central players in the court of debate today.
Those are the ones I'm able to talk about.
Yeah, but some honorable mentions just so that people aren't freaked out. Like, I know that Elf is a fan favorite, and I bring it up because I saw Elf the musical on Broadway 2 days ago.
How was it?
You know, if I spill tea, it was kind of a piece of steaming shit.
I don't think that's shocking to anybody.
But Buddy, the guy
That's
who
not
plays
even
Buddy
what,
the
that's
Elf.
not even what Broadway goers want. They don't. They do want steaming shit. Like, they just want to
Yeah,
be.
I mean, the
like,
people in the audience were gagged.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was like, because they had a screen at the back, a digital screen that, like,
hate
basic.
all
I hate
productions
that
are doing
shit.
it.
Like, there's no set.
We're not at the movie.
I know, like, fuck this.
Build it.
Luckily, I saw it for free. But the guy who played Buddy the Elf was cool because he kind of threw away every line in a way that I was like, wait, are you going to commit? But then I realized if he committed so hard to every line, he would be so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And he was funny.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
The performances stay amazing. Those are rarely shit
In Broadway.
smelling.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like you had to work
The
hard. to
talent's
get
still there on stage. It's just the IP is ruining it all.
Well, this brings up a good point, which is like entering the Christmas sphere. I need to know, like, if you're a Christmas person, what your entrance, and I would say, like, traditions you have. Mine, it was growing up, we would go to the Pabst Theater downtown Milwaukee and see A Christmas Carol. Or is it The Christmas Carol? Oh, Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
And that's with, of course, Scrooge and the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future, and of course, The Muppets Christmas Carol is actually another of the great films, as well as the live action FMT. And that play is so good, that musical. That's where you get the holly and the ivy, for they are both full grown, and for all the trees that are in the woods, the holly takes the throne. So Ivy gets thrown to the curb there. And then we would go to Benihana.
Oh,
And you're
lovely.
Obviously,
tradition.
one other thing is Harry Potter movies are like basically the classic Christmas.
yeah.
But I kind of
Of
think
course.
we can't count those right here because it's
No.
too easy a winner then.
I think Christmas has to be, like, when you're listing characteristics of a movie, for it to qualify as a Christmas movie, it has to be like top 3. You know, like, it has to be like
The top 3 qualities of the movie.
like,
right.
it takes place, like, it's a big part of the arena, the setting, the
Harry
timing,
Potter's a
the
good
theme-
one in
the
the sense that you
themes.
watch it around Christmas time with your family, you rewatch, but it's not actually taking place for the most part during Christmas.
Exactly.
So how did you enter the Christmas sphere growing up? Like, where did you always love it? What was your first big title that you were slobbering over?
I loved presents.
Mhm.
That is, I'm just going to be honest. I'm a materialistic girl.
Best present you ever got? Like, as a kid?
When I got a snowboard.
Oh, fuck. Me
And
too.
That was awesome.
It had the Grim Reaper on it.
Oh, that's cool. Mine
What
was
was
pink. I
Okay,
think, or
so
something. I
there we
don't
go
know.
again with the binary.
Yeah. Can't escape it.
The binary is back in a huge way, and I'm like, wait, I think I'm non-binary.
Oh, really?
I'm kind of like, wait, maybe my T is being non-binary.
A few days ago, you told me you were in your boy era.
Yeah, but then I went to basement, and I was like, oh, I don't fit in.
Yeah. Uh-huh. This is always a kind of a cycle that you go through.
Yeah.
And I support and love.
And I do think I'm making incremental progress, but in terms of feeling good about myself. But yeah. Anyway, so snowboard.
Snowboard. My parents divorced when I was 12. And then
For me,
after
5.
that point, Christmas became very logistically taxing because my parents, love you guys, made my brother and I switch at noon on Christmas
We did
Day.
the same thing, girl.
What is
No, we
with
did the
that?
same damn thing.
It's so weird.
It was fucked up. Like, it was
so
day needed to be spent. Oh, it was always hell. And like,
was
whoever
hell.
wasn't getting Eve was pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes they were not very close. I've taken some flights on Christmas Day.
Are you kidding?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't have to do that because mine lived in the same metropolitan area of Milwaukee.
There were a few. I've flown very far.
Both Californians? Oh, wait, you flew to Hawaii?
Or some, yeah, I think I've flown to Hawaii or somewhere else.
Damn, bitch, it
It
be
all
that
blurs
way.
together. That's the thing. Like, Christmas is all
It
blurred
blurs.
together because it's like you're traveling and running around. And,
I know. But I
So-
do have memories of like my favorite present openings.
Okay.
May I?
Yeah.
Well, one, I'll give one from my dad and one from my mom. Oh, this actually makes me really sad because of my dad's death.
And that's what Christmas is about, by the way. High highs.
It
low
is.
lows.
I do-
Family is not easy for.
Yeah,
Anyone.
last year, this past Christmas was the first Christmas without my dad, and it was really sad. But the Christmases, while my dad was still alive, were often sad too. Like, Christmas is kind of a sad time because it marks the passing of time.
For very many.
Yeah, and it's like you're back with your family, extended family, which can be so difficult even when you love them. It's just like a hot cooker for pain and grief. But anyway, my dad's best present he ever gave, I think, was one year. This is literally gaggy. Like, my sister and I were little, and we open a box that has holes poked in it, and inside is a pug puppy
Oh my God.
named Buddha.
That is awesome.
And we had a pug named Buddha, and he was so cute. And I would nibble on his ears.
That's awesome. There's no beating a puppy.
There's no beating a puppy. And
I
it
can't
sort of
even
sounded
come
like there was no, like, flagellating a puppy. When you
There's none of that either.
No.
Not in my house.
No, not in mine either. Animal abuse is sick,
It's
even though animals can be so annoying.
Yeah.
You heard it here
Oh,
first.
yeah. I have.
Other notable presents for you?
Again, nothing is really standing out,
Sure.
which is.
Well,
I
do you
got
mean
a
again?
really
'Cause
amazing.
first you said the snowboard.
The snowboard. I got an amazing coat one time
Okay.
from opening ceremony,
Oh, yeah.
and it's millennial pink.
Oh, I know someone from my past who loves millennial pink.
Oh,
I won't bring them
Them.
up.
keep it obscure. Yeah, I still have that coat and I wear it, and it was just so outlandish. I couldn't believe.
Age of you?
I think I was like 18,
Yeah.
and I still wear it.
My other big one was my sister and I got from my mom one year. Well, there's a couple here. Like, the Harry Potter Legos were so divine. But the one that immediately came to mind was Belleville sets of princesses, that's like the princess Legos. Legos were huge. And we should do a Legos episode, actually. But,
Yes. I used to babysit, and the kid I babysat was obsessed with Legos, but he had a concussion, so he couldn't read the instructions for the Legos, which were on the computer for some reason. So I had to read him the instructions for the Legos.
so you became fluent.
I became fluent.
But you yourself weren't Lego obsessed?
I would do my brother's Legos for him as a kid.
I really feel like people who were on Legos were the real tea.
Yeah, I liked them, but
They're so
if
fun.
if
And the
they
Harry
had not
Potter
been like
ones?
Star Wars, I would have loved them. But they were
Oh,
my
but the Star
brother's
Wars ones were
Legos.
so cool.
They were cool, but I would have liked to build architecture.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the
Taj
Harry Potter
Mahal.
ones, you get to build the fucking castle.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
Gringotts.
I was in Paris a while ago, and in the Lego store in Paris, they had the cutest little Legos of like a black cat. And then the Eiffel Tower and one of the
black
bateaus, like all of
What's a
these-
bateau?
It's a boat. You know what the boats
on the Seine. Oh, yeah,
that
I've
are
taken
long?
one. That was like one of my favorite things I ever did when I was in Paris.
Yeah,
which
so
was only
I
for
like
one
that
weekend.
Legos, and now they do like gardens and things.
They do amazing things. The Chicago has the Lego store, and growing up, we'd go down, and they would have fantastical,
Tower.
gigantic things. And then, of course, at Disney World, you'll see like the dragon in the water. I don't know if you're familiar with that. There's like a serpentine
yes.
dragon of Lego.
Beautiful.
But the Belleville Legos, like I had low-key the Indian princess. Like it was like she was Indian and the castle
Native
reflected
American or Indian?
no, like South Asian.
Okay.
And reflected that architecture with the sort of onion-shaped towers.
Right.
Tower tops, if you understand.
I do.
And Winnie got the like my sister, the traditional like springtime colonial palace, and we made those palaces work. And I named my princess Tulip. And hers was
Ironic,
named Lily.
given one of your recent employers.
Who's still current, although I haven't heard from them in a while. Tulip Shades, if you're
Tulip,
out there,
where you
like,
at?
what's the next assignment?
What's going on?
Okay, so we covered the Christmas bases,
Yeah.
but it is important to note, like, which of these movies extend back to your childhood? I mean, Home Alone.
None of them.
Holy
and I
fuck.
didn't watch Christmas movies on Christmas growing up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We were a big movie family. Like, we did do that.
Yeah.
And
we watched
Doo-doo.
We watched whatever was like the hit movie at the time.
Gargoyle.
Like Superbad, I remember watching on a
Damn,
Christmas
it'd
one.
be that way.
Yeah.
It's kind
Or
of weird.
whatever we wanted to watch, but my parents weren't pushing a Christmas movie.
Oh, see, we liked
Agenda.
to dig into, like,
Mm-hmm.
traditionalism.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a point I want to bring up after watching Families. Well, let me first say, like, all the movies I've just mentioned were childhood grow-ups. Like, we would watch these claymations a lot. And we would watch Home Alone and Home Alone 2 a lot. We didn't watch Family Stone. I didn't really see that.
That didn't come out until 2005.
Although, when we get into that one, that's pretty early for the themes it deals with.
Mm-hmm.
But, what I was going to say is Family Stone and Home Alone both particularly reflect this fantasy of this snowy house with the columns that's huge, that has the balcony, and the crowded house with all these family members who are bickering. And that fantasy, I think, for most of us is not a reality.
Right. I know.
And you always were kind of lusting towards that, like, crowded home, snow everywhere, porch, feast, kind of shoving each other to get to the turkey.
It's true.
But it's a kind of a fallacy for most of us.
Yeah.
And so I think that perpetuates a lot of the sorrow that we experience at Christmas, because a lot of times, I mean, this year I'll be spending Christmas in New York, not with my family, and I'm kind of like bracing myself for like, damn, the fantasy is not the reality.
Yeah. I think that's also why this genre is a bit contentious. A lot of people don't like to engage with that. I think a lot of people, it's not that they hate, it's just it doesn't resonate ring tea.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually didn't know that there was a contingent sort of pushing against.
I think the
religious
obviously a lot of
factor
people
is hell.
love Christmas and these movies make money. They're still being made. I mean, Hallmark Channel.
Well, Hallmark Channel is not correct.
I know,
if you ask me.
It's profitable. Christmas films are profitable, but a lot of our friends, I feel, don't like Christmas.
Wait,
movies.
really? Because of religious factors?
No, just because I actually don't know why they don't like them. They've just never.
Who's on the
resonated.
record as not liking?
Daniel today said he doesn't really like Christmas movies. His favorite is Carol.
He doesn't like movie. Oh no, he doesn't like TV shows.
Yeah,
Okay.
and neither do I.
What about Big Little
Sex
Lies?
and the City.
What about Big Little
And that one.
and Girl?
Yeah.
Those are the 3 shows.
No, I think Christmas is a tricky time, and
you're not religious at all, right?
No.
So it is weird, like church and state sort of came together for this one, and I hate religion. I would
Christmas
burn
movies
it down.
don't feel religious at all to me.
No, but
They're
just
more
Christmas
capitalism
is
and
technically
commercial.
a Catholic or Christian
Right.
holiday because
Right.
it's about like Jesus.
Right.
But fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Christianity. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that is one of my core beliefs. I think they fucked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so which film should we start with first on Deep Dive Teas?
Let's start with Home Alone.
Okay, I actually agree. So this is directed by Christopher Columbus, as we said, and this is a classic that most people, I feel, will know. It also is the spawn of a franchise. since there's, I think, 5 Home Alone movies. And I actually think there's a new one in production with Macaulay returning as an adult. If I saw, that might be wrong. But I would say the first 2 are canon. After that, they're fucking weird. Although it should be noted, Home Alone 3 has a female robber. You know, there's the Wet Bandits. The premise of these films is Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin, gets left home alone. And these 2 bandits, played by
Joe Pesci,
and who's an Oscar winner for Goodfellas. And
the other one I don't know.
The other one is named Dan. Pardon me, because he deserves to be named. Because Daniel Stern, because I would suck him, by the way. But they go through basically a physical flagellation.
Yeah.
Where my mom is always like, they'd die. And they would. Like, they get, like, hurt really hard by Kevin's traps. They also would give up.
Like, it's crazy that they keep going.
Yeah, but it's a pride thing.
Yeah,
you know about the male ego. But anyway, in the third one, there's a boy and a girl being the robbers, and the girl is one of those teeful women who
is Joe Pesci in 2.
Oh, bitch!
I know. I only watched 1.
Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci are into the whole cast returns, and then Tim Curry is there, and a bunch of teefles. 2 is basically part of 1. I see it as an extension. I see it as equal. Even though it's the same exact premise and it's a bit of a repetition, it's in New York City and you get some great gags.
I did want to watch it. It just wasn't on the plane.
Have you never seen it?
I've never seen it.
He stays at the plaza.
This is my tea. I saw one and didn't like it as a kid. It made me uncomfortable.
Wait, why? Because of how violent it is?
Because of how violent
it is incredibly violent.
And it just made me uncomfortable. Also, the family made me uncomfortable. Like, the way they talk to Kevin is not okay. I was so disgusted by this family.
Even the mom, Catherine O'Hara, who should have won an Oscar for this. But, like, at the beginning, basically, Kevin...
The uncle calls him a little jerk.
Okay, well,
I was like,
no, I wrote
grow up. That's a child.
He goes, look what you did, you little jerk, while they're having family meal.
Ridiculous.
And it's after Kevin pushes Buzz, who's a fucking cunt, and, like, spills milk. And then Uncle Frank, I just had to point out, because his whole thing is he's a cheapskate. Like,
right.
And he's always like... he's saying how, like, his brother, because he's the brother of Kevin's dad, and he's like, he paid good money for this pizza. He's like, he paid good money for these flights. Like, he's never paying for anything himself. Right. And he's like, I can't pay for the pizza. I have traveler's checks only. And then they're all kind of on the side being like, I bet they won't even work in France, which is where the family's headed. And I couldn't help but realize I'm basically the Uncle Frank of the family because I'm a cheapskate. And I'm always like letting other people call it.
He doesn't have a wife, or
no, he has a wife.
Oh, he does. Oh, right, she's the blonde woman.
He's a nasty man.
He's just a nasty man.
But I did see similarities between myself. I just was like hearing things he was saying. I was like, oh, I like say that. Right. When it's like I can't pay for the pizza. Like I don't have enough of my Venmo.
You're making a strong case. But I didn't think that initially. He is so unlikable. He's the true villain.
He's awful. Yeah. When he says to Kevin, look what you did, you little jerk.
It's so ridiculous.
It's scary.
It also made me realize, like, there are so many moments in Home Alone where you're like, oh, this is a kid's movie. Because it's like they're appealing to kids who hate adults, like who hate their uncle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, to kids, their uncle is villains. But to us adults, we're like, that's ridiculous. Like, the parents would not let the uncle...
I actually will push back and say, like, I think adults can be real nasty.
I guess.
Because I think here's the thing.
But they seem to be Catherine O'Hara, at least, seems to be a good mother.
Yes, she is. And she loves Kevin. But she does, low-key, at the beginning, he, like, wishes... that he would wake up and his family would be gone. Mm-hmm. And she goes... then maybe you should ask Santa for a new family.
Yeah, I mean, that's a mother at a weak point.
And
I would go there too if I were a mom. I would break down and be like, fine,
well, that's the thing.
I'll use your logic.
Moms
I'll play your game.
are allowed to, like, lose it on their kids a little
just a
bit.
few times.
Yeah, just a couple times. But, like, kids are fucking annoying. But the thing I wanted to say is, like, when we were kids, don't you remember this being like, when you grow up, remember that kids are just as like smart and aware as adults. And now I'm an adult and like, oh, kids are idiots.
Yeah.
But like when I was a kid, I remember speaking to my future self and being like, do not forget, like, we are aware.
I did not have that feeling. I was like, I am a kid. I don't know as much. Like, can somebody
Oh, really?
please?
I was smarter as a kid. Like I've disintegrated.
Yeah, I was a stupid kid. I couldn't read.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. How Twilight gave you the gift of reading.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that was.
And I also didn't like. So back to the violence. That one image of the redheaded wet bandit stepping on the nail.
Where did you get the idea someone's got red hair? This
ginger?
is such a phenomenon. Everyone's always like, I'm a redhead. I'm strawberry blonde. There's a redhead. I'm like, they don't look red to me. Unless you're fucking Ron Weasley. Like,
Right. Is he not redheaded though?
no, he is.
Right.
But
No. Sorry, I mean the bandit. I mean the bandit.
the bandit's a brunette in my books.
Okay, I don't know.
I
I
don't-
watched it on a plane.
The coloring might have been off.
He has ginger coloring.
He's suckable.
Yeah. So you seem to think.
Don't do that.
I don't like it when he steps on the nail.
Yeah, the nail. So fast forward, like basically Kevin gets left alone, and the bandits are coming to rob, and he sets up these booby traps. One of them is the nail.
There's many. There's so many.
An iron
he's a
falls on
little
his
genius.
swings on his face. He falls downstairs.
Yeah.
A hot doorknob.
A flamethrower on his head. Also, like the clown work that Joe Pesci did in this film.
He's
like,
so good in it.
He's so good. I love also how during the film, like, he can't swear because it's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
But when he gets these things happen to him and he's in pain, he's like, ah, boo, ah, grat.
Was this pre or post Goodfellas?
I have no idea.
I should have looked that up.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be cool if it was post.
Yeah.
To signal his willingness to play in the sandbox of the theater.
Yeah. I wonder if he was like proud of this. I hope so.
I feel like he must be. I mean, to me, this is a true classic, and like I'm fighting
it's so
to sell
quotable.
it to you.
I saw so many lines and moments that I see all the time.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, filthy. Is this where Merry Christmas, you filthy animals?
Yes.
Right.
Well,
But he
yeah.
doesn't say that.
Yes, he does in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Okay.
I will say that is I'm pretty sure a fake movie they invented for this.
That's funny.
Which is so.
That's very funny. This movie to me was so interesting to watch because it's so American. It's like
Yeah.
defend your house and your
Defend
property.
your house. And it is supporting guns. But you know what I love is this movie actually condemns the police as well as bureaucratic red tape as well as
really
airline
does.
customer service. Like in contrast to a few other, like in contrast to Die Hard, which we'll get to, and I'll bring up, I mean, basically in Die Hard, a cop.
Well, Die Hard though is different. It condemns the police. He's not the police. He's
not the police. He's a rogue cop, but there at the end there's a cop that he kind of buddies up with who reveals like his dark secret is that he accidentally shot a kid and has to live with that. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but you shouldn't have accidentally shot a kid. Like you shouldn't have been shooting.
Yeah.
And so fuck the police and fuck you. Like you shot a kid, like fuck you.
Yeah.
In Home Alone, the police are fucking idiots. And it's kind of like Home Alone was the first person to say ACAP.
Yeah.
Besides,
but it also was
Angela
the
Davis.
first movie to say like stand your ground law,
Mm-hmm.
like buy the
Buy a
weapons
gun.
you need
Buy a
to
gun
shoot
and use
burglars
it.
coming into your home. It also is very like, love thy neighbor. It also is very, because the neighbor,
who they are horrendous to, that old man.
They really are.
Who reminds me of
Can you imagine
people
if you
from
walk
my past?
up to a kid and they just scream at you
I
because
know.
of how horrid
And he was
you
sweet
are?
and suckable, frankly.
Oh, okay.
One thing to bring up is the toothbrush. He's like, is this toothbrush approved by the dental
He's an
association?
annoying kid. Can we say that?
Let's
Like,
talk
I know they're
Macaulay.
being mean to him in the beginning. That's not cool, but he's also being annoying.
The prosecution calls to the stand Macaulay Culkin.
He's being annoying.
I don't see it that way. See, you're siding with the family. I'm siding with Kevin.
Don't group me with those.
You got grouped in with Buzz, who's a vile pig.
Buzz is scary. Buzz reminds
Uncle
me
Frank.
of the kid from Toy Story. Just ugly
Sid.
to look at.
Okay,
and
so
unpleasant.
you shouldn't have said that because growing up, people would always be like, you look like Sid from Toy Story.
No, you don't, though. Sid is not ugly in his appearance. He is ugly in his mannerisms.
Yeah, he's kind of hot.
Yeah, it's like he could be if he like brushed his hair.
I had short hair.
If he brushed his buzz cut.
If he brushed his
and wore a polo shirt, it would be a whole
so you're
different
into
story.
polos. So you're into the traditional varsity jock.
Nice. I think it just makes a kid look nice.
I actually would kill to have the t-shirt he wears with the skull on it. And then like you were thinking, we need to do Toy Story. God, those are good movies. But no, I don't think Kevin's annoying. And I want to talk to Macaulay because I would argue this is the greatest child performance in film history.
I would.
Although he doesn't cry. Anna Paquin in the piano's better.
Come on.
Yeah.
And Anna Paquin better. Also, isn't the kid from Sixth Sense better?
No. Haley Joel doesn't do better than Kevin.
And what about the kid from The Room?
There's a kid in the room?
Yeah.
Have I seen
Tremblay.
Oh, Jacob Tremblay. Oh, yeah. He did Devour.
He did a good job.
That movie was good, but fuck Brie Larson. She's boring as milk toast.
Yeah.
But she was good in that. Let's give her flowers. Although I'm sure someone else deserved it over her. I forget who else. So here's something for Kevin.
Okay.
He was nominated for lead actor in a comedy or musical at the Golden Globes.
Okay.
Didn't win. Thoughts on who else is in this category?
God, what year? Oh, I was gonna.
Yeah.
What year did this
I
come
actually
out?
didn't look it up.
Oh,
I forgot.
It's pre 9/11. I'll tell you that. Leaving for 45 minutes before your flight.
Oh, sure, because of airplane culture.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, like running through the O'Hare Airport is one of the most moments of time.
That is so American too. Only Americans.
It is a patriotic
shit.
Yeah, the airport run.
Yeah.
You don't think
because we're late.
Europeans
because we're trying to cram too much in our day because of capitalism.
I'm just thinking that might not be an exclusively American thing. Okay, so the winner of the Golden Globe that year was Gerard Depardieu for Green Card. Never heard of it? Like, the fuck?
That's a rom-com, I believe, where he gets married to, like, Minnie Driver or someone.
I just think Macaulay is a lot more enduring of a performance. And then the other noms were all a bit of a sleigh, which is Johnny Depp for Edward Scissorhands, Richard Gere for Pretty Woman, Patrick Swayze for Ghost.
Johnny should have won.
Yeah. Honestly, Johnny should have won. Yeah. I mean, give it up for Ed.
He's fucking weird as shit.
I want to do Edward. That's a Christmas movie, actually. That should be in the running. That takes place mostly over Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. Remember when he uses his hand? What?
I know.
And you call yourself a film critic. And you call yourselves the New York Times film critic. Manola Dargis, ladies and gentlemen.
Manola Dargis. Okay, are you done with Macaulay?
Holy shit. Do you have anything to say about Blonde Boy?
He's adorable and he's great.
He's funny. I wish he got to tears. I wish he was moved to tears.
Yeah. I love when he runs around and flails his hands.
Wait, when does he do
both happy and scared? He does the same action. I love that because I think when we're
like this,
arms above the head.
Oh yeah,
and he's running up the staircase.
Okay, but yes. But both you know what's
when he's happy when that the parents are gone, and then
with the aftershave,
yeah,
which I never understood. Like, does that sting?
Yes.
Oh,
it's like a toner, which has alcohol in it.
Okay.
And if you're a kid, your skin is very sensitive.
Okay, so is it?
Yeah.
God, I wish I had a kid's skin.
That's why they have special sunscreen and they have special lotion and soap.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
More to say on Kevin puppeteering the cardboard cutouts.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Michael Jordan rotating around the house. I got such a weird. I was like, Michael Jordan at the party. I just got such.
Whoa! Wait, what just happened?
I got such a pure joy out of the idea of Michael Jordan.
I know it really did feel like a sort of, how do I say this? Like, Everyone was there.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 features Donald Trump.
Right. I just want to say something else, is that this movie is so American because of how it prioritizes and like celebrates shopping.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the way it's like he did it when he went shopping at the store, and
Yeah.
at the end of the movie they're all like, "Well, you bought
eggs and milk and fabric
and
softener.
fabric softener." They're like, "We didn't think Kevin could tie his shoe. He's gone shopping." I'm like, shopping is the easiest thing to do in the world. Like
But you know what isn't easy? Interacting with your clerk.
Right.
Like, I actually sometimes, last night I was like wanting to get something from the bodega and I was like, I'm just going to go hungry because I can't.
What?
Yeah,
What?
I have a weird thing. I have an anxiety where like I have a hard time like
You're like
speaking
a
to
celebrity.
people.
This is what celebrities have.
Is that real?
Yes.
Ti falado, Liddy?
Yeah. They don't like to go shopping and things.
I don't like to...
And interfacing with strangers. Yeah.
I freak out.
I actually was sitting at the airport a few days ago, just having a coffee at like a airport restaurant, and at the bar at an airport restaurant, and
Love.
Rob Lowe came and sat down right next to me.
Sit down right next.
Sat down right next to me, and I knew immediately by the sound of his voice. I don't think I ever looked at him. He just has such a distinct voice, and these people down the bar started talking to him and complimenting him, and he was very receptive to it at first. But then they were going on and on and on. And it was so
Know your
interesting
place.
watching him like phase them out.
Wow.
There's no gentle way to do that.
Did you talk to the man?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you have some decency. One of the few left
I
with
have nothing to say to that man.
What is he even? Parks and Rec. His character was annoying.
He is in A Few Good Men, I think.
Don't know it.
Anyway.
More on Home Alone. Let me see if I can call any other witnesses to the stand. Donald Trump. De Niro turned down the role that went to Joe Pesci.
Big mistake.
Yeah. Although I actually think De Niro would have commanded the room too much where
Yeah.
it became the De Niro show.
He would have. I don't think he would have been able to do this. Actually, he's done kids movies. No, he didn't Meet the Fockers.
He did Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers. And he did, he's definitely done kids movies. I feel like he's in Shark Tale.
Well, that's not the same.
In what sense?
You're not on screen. You're voiceovering. You're voicing only.
Yeah.
That's not the
I
same.
get you. I mean, all the greats do voiceover.
Yeah,
work.
everyone. It's like, why wouldn't you? It's
In
the
Home Alone
easiest job
2,
ever.
you do get Tim Curry and Dana Ivey, who's this amazing woman. And you get this other guy whose name I forget, but he's like weird in it. Home Alone 2 is kind of like Honora in the sense that like all his fantasies come true. And he's in a limo with pizza at the plaza.
It's not all that meets.
And it comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
And then one other thing from Home Alone 2 is he gets in a cab after being in Central Park and all these like prostitutes are trying to like attack him. And he gets in a cab and he's like scared. And then he's like, oh, it's scary out there. And the cab driver turns around and he has like a mutilated face and looks really scary. And he's like, it's not much better in here. And I did want to commend the cab driver for kind of like owning it. That like,
Yeah.
I mean, he isn't scary just based on how he looks, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. I'd like to watch. And the last thing I'll say about Home Alone 1, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for it. That's like, that scene was like sex. Like, you're just waiting for her to say Kevin.
And also the final scene of both movies where the mom and Kevin reunite and she's like...
What do you think? Sorry.
No. Well, let me just say the lines. I didn't make it to the end of Home Alone 2, but that one's even more emotional than the first one because they meet at Rockefeller Center in front of the tree and they hug and it's so sweet. I remember at the end of the first one, though, she goes, oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
All right. What were you going to say?
What are your thoughts on flying first class, putting your kids in coach?
I think yes.
Yeah.
Kids are twerps.
But I would be so annoyed if I were sitting next to the kids and coach and they were behaving the way I know they were behaving.
Yeah.
And it's like, where are your
imagine
parents?
you're seated next
and
to
they're
Buzz.
like, oh, they're in first? Okay, I'm your parent now. And I'll slap you.
But then when Uncle Frank is in first class, and he's like, champagne now. It's free, isn't it? I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I've like literally asked, like, it's free, right?
The last thing I'll say about Home Alone, completely traumatic experience for Kevin to find out that Santa is not real like this.
This is a good...
On top of everything.
Oh, because Santa doesn't come. They don't even address... But that's
the
a big
and the
thing of a
out.
lot of Christmas movies is like the idea of like the whole thing being about like Santa's not real, Santa is real. And it kind of sucks because it's like ultimately Santa isn't real. And a lot of these movies are predicated on like Santa's real.
Yeah.
I mean, he's real in our hearts.
I guess.
But it's like
I don't know.
physically, like Santa doesn't show up at our houses.
No. Oh my God. That was my favorite Christmas tradition, though.
Cookies and milk.
Yeah.
That's
and then
heaven.
my parents would like
Sneaking.
stomp coal everywhere and
Coal?
yeah, like they would mess up the fireplace and like
Oh, I thought you meant
they
like...
would really like break shit.
Well, you know, one year my mom's brother, when they were little, had been like bad that year, I guess, and my grandma put coal in his stocking and he got coal. And he was like devastated.
Yeah.
And it really hurt him to this day.
Yeah. That's mean. That's mean.
Yeah.
I would use Santa, though, to get my kids to act
Hey
better.
Santa, hey Santa, hey Santa.
Okay. Family Stone,
Yeah, let's do it. Because this
2005.
is amazing, this movie.
It's great. What were some of your thoughts? I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's great. It's a dramedy.
It's a dramedy. It's
It'll make
really
you laugh.
unlike anything
It'll
else.
make you cry. Tonally, some critics say it's all over the place, but I
that's
think
what makes
that's
it good.
what
It's
makes it
funny
good,
and
yeah.
dramatic.
And that's what Christmas is. It's a little tonally all over the place.
Oh, I could not agree more. Yeah, I have a ton of thoughts. I'll open with just some moments. Well, why don't we set the premise for people who haven't seen? Care to jump in here?
The Family Stone.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't love the title.
Oh, I love it. Because
Really?
it's a double entendre.
I don't get it.
Because the plot is
About
a son
a
goes back home for Christmas to ask for the family
Oh.
stone, aka the grandmother's ring, and their name is also their last name. is Stone.
That second meaning I got.
Now you
cold
like the
turkey.
title, right?
Now I like it because I was like, the Family Stone, like who?
No, it doesn't.
Nobody
you
knows
need
the
to-
Stones
no,
going
exactly.
in.
No,
Mr. and Mrs. Stone. But now that I know it's also like
it's about the ring,
rock.
and it's about
Mhm. Okay, cool.
tradition and family
Now
and
I'll
approval and
Now
all
I'll
that
buy
stuff.
it.
It's so Dermot McMulroney.
Which let me Dermot. Let me just say
Dermot Mulroney.
something like that. But let me say, in Sex and the City, the LA episodes, they're talking about like who could play Mr. Big in the film adaptation of her columns. You remember this?
Yes.
She's like talking to Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Oh no, she's talking to Sarah Michelle Gellar, who plays the PR girl, and she's like, guess who should play Big? And Sarah Jessica Parker, Carrie Bradshaw is like, I'm really not good with the celebrity names, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is like, guess, and Sarah Jessica Parker is like, that Dermot McDermott type, and like gets his name wrong, and then cut to they're in this movie together.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he comes home to ask for the
He
ring.
comes home to his family, which is a loud, boisterous kind of. They think very highly of themselves. This
and
family.
they should. They're basically like Bernie Sanders level good politics.
Totally. He has 3 siblings.
Well, it's him. It's
deaf-
Rachel McAdams is
deaf
the gorgeous hippie. It's the deaf gay brother. And it's Luke Wilson. And it's Luke Wilson in the gray sweatpants stretching his cock. And then it's Elizabeth Reeser, who is kind of a freaky type who appears in Twilight, who's pregnant.
Yes, you're right.
And her quality is like being pregnant and a little
And liking
morose.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
that part made me cry. I'll keep it to you.
Oh, good. Then I'm glad you got
Never
something
seen-
out of her.
I've never seen Meet Me in St. Louis. Have you?
No.
Okay.
And it still made you cry.
Yeah, well, Judy Garland is one of those great, and you see the part where she's like,
Yeah.
have yourself.
Oh, yeah. I cried. But you're also
every little-
crying because...
Oh, God. Well, don't spoil. First, let's go through. Diane Keaton plays the mom. John Hurd plays the dad. Sarah Jessica Parker plays Dylan McDermott's girlfriend who he wants to propose to. And she's like an uptight business bitch who they all loathe.
Yeah. She's type A, and she's high-strung, and Sarah Jessica Parker does amazing.
Yeah, I think this is one of the great
she's the best in the
comedic
movie,
performances
besides
of all
Diane.
time. I think she rivals Diane even.
Yeah.
Diane's great, but
Yeah.
like Sarah Jessica, this is such a funny role.
Mhm.
It's so funny, and it has pathos as well. if I
She's
can
so
keep it to-
unlikable that she's almost likable just because of how hard she's trying.
Oh my God, when she's the scene where they're at the dinner table
Mhm.
and she's like,
Backing
no
herself
one
into a
would
corner.
want to have a gay child.
Mhm.
It's too difficult. God, she puts her foot in her mouth.
She really did.
God, it's so good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some aspects of this film.
First of all, a moment for the house. This is the anti-Nancy Meyers house. It is
Cluttered.
cluttered.
And cozy.
It is so many patterns.
I'd rather have
I
this
love
house.
pattern play in a house, and I just kept noticing. I kept taking screenshots of all the patterns. That
Oh,
were
you
in this
screened on
house.
Pat?
Yeah,
You were Robert Pattinson that day.
I was Pattinsoning the patterns.
I wrote down Cole drinks Riesling in the sense that he likes Elizabeth Reeser, who I don't.
I like her too.
Wait, Cole also told me that at Elizabeth Reeser's wedding in Italy, she and Sarah Paulson were best friends and they got in a blowout fight at Elizabeth's wedding and don't speak anymore.
Wow. Yeah. Damn. That sucks.
I know.
On your wedding day.
Okay, so continuing with aspects.
The house. I already said.
Yeah.
The house.
Sarah-
Everybody's perfectly cast. The
Yeah,
dialogue
everyone
is
is
so
perfectly
good.
cast.
It just moves.
Yes.
It's feels real, but it's also clever and
It's
witty.
funny, it's dramatic, it's real. It's also ready for
It
film.
moves so fast.
It moves fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not boring.
Because also there's so many characters. It's a total ensemble that someone's always entering with throwing their shit.
And everyone feels
In the
serviced.
thing,
Everyone
yes.
got serviced by the mouth.
Yeah.
Sarah, in one of her opening scenes, is checking her appearance in the car. She opens the car mirror and then immediately slams it shut. Cole noted that is so classic.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give Cole her flowers because she delivered some smart takes
I
here.
love the northeastern vibe.
Oh, that's, by the way, part of the Christmas fantasies.
Yeah.
It's it's on the Northeast.
Yeah.
Or in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's throat clearing tick.
Yeah, that's so good.
Amy's room is heaven.
Mm-hmm. All the rooms.
That's Rachel McAdams' character.
Diane Keaton's and her husband's room is heaven.
Sarah's on the phone with her sister, Claire Danes.
Are we
who
really
shows
not
up.
allowed to spoil anything?
Oh, no, we're spoiling.
Oh, okay.
No, I just was let's walk through the plot of it.
Right. Okay, so
No, we're spoiling.
Yeah, they
But-
get the couple gets there and they hate her and
They
it just
hate
gets
her.
worse and worse.
And she's
She
talking
keeps
on the phone to Claire
fucking
Danes, who shows up
messing it
halfway through the movie, and she goes, "Yes, I'm being myself." Love it. Luke Wilson, perfect. I need him here, and I actually didn't need him in Legally Blonde, which is interesting.
I know. He really
He's
is
hot
good in
here.
this. Yeah.
He's good when he's playing stoner, lean into the Wilson type.
I also like this movie because we've all been each of these characters in our own family, I feel like.
Wait, you feel you've been all of these characters in your own family?
Yeah, I've had times when I've been
You've been the business hater.
I've been the uptight New York City bitch.
I have
who
too.
thinks she's better than everyone.
I have too. You've
I've
been the hippie.
the hippie stoner.
So have I. Actually, you're right.
Sleeping in.
And I've been the
angry
sweatpants boy.
Rachel McAdams. I've been,
I've
the, angry girl. Who's
Oh, I thought you were calling Rachel the stoner.
No.
You're
Luke
calling
is the stoner.
Oh, yeah. Have you been the pregnant, sad girl?
Yeah, honestly.
So have I.
Not
Like,
pregnant, but pregnant with feelings of sadness.
have you been the deaf gay guy? I have.
I won't
obviously
say that I've been.
Have you been the boyfriend?
I've been the different one. I've been the other.
Have you been the mom?
I've never gone to another family's Christmas.
Neither have I.
So
Even when I had a
can't say
boyfriend for 4 years, I was never brought along.
that. I've never been in anything that serious.
I've actually never not spent Christmas with my own family. This is the first time I'll do it.
Oh,
I'm a little scared,
okay.
but it'll be tea.
It'll be okay.
I have friends who I'm going to hang with. Have you been the dad?
Yeah, you may have got Kelly. Such a great.
His name
the
is
names
Kelly.
in this movie.
The names.
Diane Keaton's name is Sybil.
Yeah,
The
which
dad
is
is
a
Kelly.
little much.
No,
but yeah,
it's great.
Diane.
That's why they think so highly of themselves, because they have cool names.
Because her name is Sybil. Diane's moments of staring sadly out are tea.
Agreed.
She's really good in this.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: she has cancer.
Yes. I love the moment when she is in bed with Kelly and
I know what
she's
you're gonna
very
do.
sad about, and she's scared. I love movies
When people
where
are
someone who
scared.
is dying is like, I am scared. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Don't be
totally.
brave.
No, you don't have to.
Like, don't be brave for us.
Yeah. And this sad, scary moment turns sexual.
Yeah, and
And I
he
usually
fondles.
don't like old people getting it on screen.
I will push away from you on that. Like, get it on when you're old. Like, don't you want to
I
be
think
fucking
they should.
when we're old?
I'm actually saying I normally don't like seeing it on screen.
But see, we're still not on the same page.
No, but I think what I'm trying to say is I don't like the way it's done.
You're starting to sound like
sounding
Sarah
like
Jessica
Sarah
at the table with the gay
Ages.
kids.
No, I really like this moment though,
Yeah, me too.
when he fondles her.
Because it's also supporting
Tits.
women without tits, which, like, we need to be
and
doing
it's like
that.
hot because
Yeah,
it's
it is.
true intimacy.
Yeah,
I really just
which is
don't
the real hot thing.
like when like older actors are faking it and being like, yeah, we're into each other. I'm like,
Okay, yeah,
you're
when it
faking
becomes a caricature, I'm
Yeah.
sick to my
Yeah.
stomach. An important note
I'm
is...
like, you're too old to be doing this.
Like, you should
You're
be able to
you're too old
do
be
it for real.
Dicking around like
Right,
this.
like,
Let's be real.
get real.
Yeah, show us your tits.
Oh, I want to be in love. So Claire Danes shows up as Sarah Jessica's sister about halfway through the film, and she gets off a bus, and she trips and falls off the bus and face plants onto the asphalt, and
Such
it's
a
hilarious.
great physical comedy.
She looks beautiful, by the way.
She's stunning.
Wow.
Her character is so funny though. The way
And
she talks
fucked up.
about her job. I'm like, shut up. She
With
is
the
an
grants.
arts grant. She's an
arts grant reviewer, which how do
reviewer,
you
which
get
like
that job?
you don't travel for that job. You sit in an office and review grants.
That's
and
a
she's
laptop
talking
nomad.
about being all over the world, traveling to see fishermen in Alaska, build
It doesn't
these.
make any sense.
I'm like, no way.
That being their connection, because, spoiler alert, a big twist of the film is Dermot Mulroney ends up with Claire Danes,
Yes,
sister
and-
of Sarah Jessica, who he's dating, who ends up fucking Luke Wilson, the cock in the pant,
Yeah.
the stoner.
They switch.
They switch.
Yeah. Or they at least, they don't switch.
Oh,
they
we're
just,
spoiling. I hope people don't care. I mean, if you haven't seen it at this point, like, burn in hell. Obviously, I saw it for basically the first time last night.
yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're saved. I also love the deaf brother. What's his name? I don't remember, but he is played by Tyrone Giordano, who's actually deaf.
Oh, that's cool.
I know.
And they're all signing
And
as
they're
they
signing,
speak throughout
which
the movie.
is so cool.
They handle deafness and gayness and even like low-key interracial and like
Yeah.
everything and like leftist family
Yeah.
all with such deftness at 2005. Like, you have to give it the props. Like, Glee hadn't come yet.
Yeah. I also love how Diane Keaton's character, Sybil, is a good mom in so many ways, like with Thad, the deaf gay son.
Yeah.
And with just being, a host and kind of matriarch. She's really great, but she's also a bad mom in other ways, like
In what
withholding
way?
the ring because she
Well-
doesn't think it's right. Like I don't think that is right. And she realizes that's not right.
She
But-
realizes it's not, but I get why she did. Like, I mean, the reason she did is, I mean, they're vicious to Sarah Jessica.
They're
and like,
totally
that's
vicious.
Not
That's
okay
not a good-
how
yeah.
vicious they are. Like, she's just different from them, but she's not like... I mean, she does some bad things when she says about the gay people.
I know, but that's just uninformed.
She was pointing at
I used to
the
have
black
that
guy.
opinion.
Do you think she was pointing at the black guy?
No.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Cole
There's a
does.
charades mix-up.
They're doing
moment.
charades, and the clue is the bride wore black, and she's like holding her hand non-committally in the direction of the black guy.
Yeah.
Who's the boyfriend of the gay deaf son.
And Amy Rachel McAdams.
It's like,
It's
I
like,
can't
oh my
believe you're
God,
pointing
yeah.
at him. God,
Yeah.
she's a bitch for that.
Yeah. And she wrote that thing, so she kind of, you know.
Yeah. She wrote the clue.
Yeah. But back to her point, I don't think she's vicious for having that opinion. She's just uninformed. Like, I used to think, like, it is
that's what makes
okay
it so
for a
good,
parent to
'cause a
not want their
person
kid to
would
be
say
gay
that.
because it is harder to be gay.
No, totally.
And I was just uninformed.
It's smart. I mean, low-key, I still get why she said that.
It's like you can still kind of get there with that logic, but that doesn't. It's like a futile opinion.
It's
because born this
not,
way, you know,
right, born this way,
and love your child no matter what they're like.
Cynthia Nixon once got canceled early on for saying like she chose to be gay, and she was like, it is a choice. And I'm gonna low-key say like I don't think it's just nature. I think it's nature and nurture.
Right.
And Sarah Jessica in the movie is like your household can influence, and I don't think it's just nurture. I mean, just nature.
I don't think so either.
I think it's a combo. Like, let's get low-key with that.
I think, it's not black and white.
Because it's also not black and white if you're gay or straight. Let's be honest. Like, most people are a little bi-curious.
Yes.
And
it's also not black and white to, you know, wish your child had an easier life.
Right.
And then the way with which that would happen
obviously,
would make
if I had a
life
straight
harder.
son, I'd vomit and
Totally.
put him in an orphanage. Not that I'm having kids, but... one thing I do want to say is when Luke puts his arms back, he puts his arms back and it's so hot and you can just picture him getting serviced. Also, when Sarah Jessica and him, same scene, are at the bar. Why did the screen just light up? What's tea?
Ew.
She, after doing the gay faux pas, she goes, I love the gays, gay people. Like, that's heaven.
That bar scene is amazing.
Yeah.
When she finally loosens up.
And she buys a round for the
ambulance
for the bar.
workers.
Yeah. Who he was T, even though he sucked
perfect.
in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he was perfect in this role. I texted a friend of a friend whose husband worked on this film. He was a producer.
Tell me T. We were going to interview her, and it was going to be heaven.
I just, you know, did the faster thing.
It didn't. It wasn't.
This.
Okay. Oh, you called her. Okay. So what did? So one more time, in case people missed it, she's the wife
She's
of
the
a producer.
ex-wife of the producer.
Okay.
Yeah. So
divorce
she
is
has
so likely.
I know. So I have this from the producer. And I asked for fun facts about the film, and he said, "I have to see the film again to jog my memory."
Damn, it be that way?
Right?
Like, shouldn't you remember, Kim?
She said, though, she was like, he probably won't remember. The thing with producers is it's like, once you do it, it's over. It's done.
But see, then you're divorced from the art, and why did you even get into the business?
Exactly. I do remember the local wives would come by and hang out at the edge of the driveway with their glasses of wine, and if we ever couldn't find Luke, we would look there first, and inevitably he would be holding court with them all.
What? You mean like the local wives in the neighborhood?
Yes.
He'd be flirting?
Yes.
I want to suck!
Also, I want to be one of those wives,
Same.
like walking down to flirt with Luke Wilson
where was
with
it
a
filmed?
glass of wine. They built that house on a soundstage in LA, but
Fuck
they
it
also
up.
filmed at a house like on the East Coast somewhere.
Why not just film in the East Coast house?
It's a low budget film besides the cast. They used all the budget on the
Which
cast.
is the correct way to spend. I mean, everyone is perfectly
no
cast here.
artificial snow. They just got lucky with the snow.
Thank God, thank God, thank God. If it was fake snow, I would be drinking cyanide.
And then, the snow. What else? I think that's...
No.
Oh, I heard some tea.
There's more.
I did hear some tea. I'll start with start with some good celeb goss, which is that Rachel McAdams is lovely.
Oh, God.
Total sweetie
of
pie.
course. I mean, she seems like the greatest ever.
Yeah.
She's
awesome.
so beautiful and she's so talented. I mean, this character
You wouldn't
is
blame her for being a
180
bitch.
from Regina George.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Exactly. Not
Lately,
really,
I've
though.
been-
They're both angry.
Yeah, but one
They
is
both
like
act out.
posh and one is granola.
Yeah, she's a punk rock.
I think that Rachel, by the way, Regina George's wig, like the more I think about it, I'm like,
It's not
they
good.
should have made it way prettier.
Yeah, it's too high on her head.
And weird shade of blonde.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so
And then the other one, this is kind of a fun little anecdote. It's like, do you think that this justifies a celebrity being deemed a bitch? But there were these kids of the producer on set one day, and they were kind of walking around with their mom trying to find, their dad, who's the producer of the film.
kids looking for dads.
And Sarah Jessica Parker was like, I'm going to pull up the exact wording. She said, "Who are they and why are they allowed on this set?"
I low-key feel she teed. If we were Sarah and we were on set and some twerps were pushing over the props, I'd be like,
Well, I don't think it
get away from me, cunt!
I just think she was methoding. I think she was.
Oh, she was methodial?
I don't know. That's my excuse.
Well,
for
good
her.
way to get into character.
It's not. I've heard of worse. It's not.
What have you
doesn't look
heard?
great.
I mean, Natalie has some tea. Did you notice that
If,
I blew your
these
load?
NDAs could talk.
On the last episode, I blew your load a bit.
Oh, did you?
I mean, I kept
Don't tell
everything
me that.
anonymous.
Okay. Now we're outing it.
I don't feel like cutting anything out of this episode, by the way. So
They didn't tell me I need to cut that stuff. It's been so long. They don't
Lerp.
care. They don't care.
Wait, you said that Diane Keaton held up production for 2 years?
Yeah, just I
why?
think no, I don't know. I didn't get any more on that. That to me is like that's just in Hollywood. It's everything being held
I guess
up.
after you win your actress for Annie Hall, like you hold things up if you want.
What I heard about Diane, she's a lot smarter than she lets on.
Girl, her whole thing is being bookish.
Yeah, but her whole thing is also being like, "Who, me? What? Oh, I don't know."
I actually think that's my
Studio
tea
me.
too. I like to act like, huh?
Yeah.
But I'm actually like
You're
smart.
quite smart.
Although some people don't think so. I'm worried that my ex-boss doesn't. Whatever. Needing snow. I've written. Oh, okay. Sarah Jessica's line. I am not a completely ridiculous person.
Yeah, that's something you would say.
Right. And then she has a big monologue at the end. So fast forward to the end.
Oh wait, I'd like to say.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I don't think this is what you're talking about. When Sarah Jessica Parker is with Luke Wilson.
Yeah. So they go out
and
drinking.
They go out drinking, and she's like, early in the film, he says, "I had a dream about you last night."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "What?" Because they just met. And I mean, it's just very forward of him to say that.
Yeah. Well, he's forward. When he
Yeah.
comes out and he's wearing crop top and gray sweatpants and he hands
Yeah.
her coffee and his dick is right there and he's just like pushing it in her face. I was like, she has everything. I have nothing. She needs to burn and I need to freeze.
Okay, so he has a dream about her. She drops that. She doesn't want to know about it until later when they're drunk at the bar.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What's the dream? I want to know about it." And he goes, or maybe in bed.
No, it's in the car.
In the car, right. He goes, "You were shoveling snow.
Yeah.
You were just a little girl, and you were shoveling snow in a flannel nightgown, and I was the snow." I thought that was funny because, like, what a random ass dream.
Sure.
Not sexual at all.
Well, depending on your definition of sex.
But also, have you ever not been a yourself or at least a person in a dream? Like,
He
I've
was
never
snow.
been an inanimate
He was
object.
a chunk of snow.
He was snow. I'm like, what?
Can I tell you my
You
dream
lost
from
me.
last night? Go ahead.
Sure.
Do you mind?
But have you ever been an object or an element?
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't think so.
His mind. I
Do
was
you-
like,
so you're celebrating
must-
him. You're not like critiquing that it's not realistic.
anything. Who am I to critique another person's dreams?
Okay, T. So here comes a dream.
I would just like to find somebody else who is real and has been an object.
So in this dream last night, I'm on the side of the road, and our friend,
And you're
who
Snow.
maybe I shouldn't say his name, but whatever, Chase, our friend, I leaned in to kiss him in the dream, and he pulled back, And then I ran away, and for some reason his dad was picking us up. And so I saw a maroon car and knew his dad had a maroon car and got in, and the car drove away, and it wasn't his dad. And I started to realize I was being kidnapped, and I was like, can you let me out? And he reached back to try and grab my phone, and he was like trying to kidnap me, and I was trying to dial 911, and I was panicking. And then I kind of woke up, which was kind of a shame because I wanted to see through the whole movie of the dream. But so I was like kind of awake, and I finished the story out for myself, and there was traffic on the highway, and I got out and ran down the side of the highway.
You wrote your own happy ending. I'm glad you got out.
Kidnapping is the most horrible fear of childhood.
Oh, yeah. Unless you are home alone and 2 burglars. That
I would rather have that than be kidnapped if I had the tricks to do the stuff.
That movie, Home Alone, is not scary.
No, not really. So Sarah Jessica Parker has a final monologue at the end after it's emerged that she slept with Luke Wilson after she's broken up with Dylan.
She slept in the
McKinnon.
bed. He slept on the floor. They didn't have sex.
Yeah, but they probably kissed in the... Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So she goes, well, open them. She hands out presents. It turns out it's the photo of Diane Keaton pregnant with Amy. And it's really moving, and I cried a little bit there. And then Sarah Jessica gives this monologue of like, I know what you all think of me. You think I'm the stuck-up, spoiled, racist, bigot bitch. And that's not me. And like, fuck all of you. You think you're so cool.
From Bedford. The bitch from Bedford.
Right.
She says
Is that Connecticut?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think. No, maybe it's New York. I don't know.
You can say. I live right off of Bedford Ave.
It's not that Bedford.
Bedford.
Yeah. The speech, sorry.
Speech, and then she storms into the kitchen. She has this like egg frittata she's going to bake. She spills it, and her and Diane and Amy end up against the kitchen counter howling, covered in egg, and it's heaven.
That is heaven.
ART?
Yeah, I love that moment.
Yeah, love.
It's beautiful.
It's the
They finally
screenshot
come
on
together.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like when you click into the movie.
Yeah,
it's
that dish also looks so good.
yummo.
I don't know.
I should start making frittatas again. They are delish. You just
it looks yummier
scramble
than a
eggs.
frittata. It looks better than a frittata.
Do not start with me now.
My favorite line readings were Luke Wilson in the bar saying, "You gotta let your freak flag fly." I want to start saying that. I want to start encouraging freak flags.
Same-o.
And then my other was Sarah Jessica in the bathroom on the phone with her sister saying that she like slept with
Oh yeah. She's
Luke
not on the
Wilson
phone
or
though.
something.
They're both in there.
Oh, you're right. She's
Yeah.
in there with her sister. And she's like, "How do you feel?" And she says, "I'm so ashamed." But she's smiling ear to ear.
It's such a good moment. A good sisterly
Literally
moment.
smiling like a psychopath. It's so good.
Low-key, like, call me basic. I love when she comes in and sits on Luke's bed and is, like, basically trying to suck him off. And he's like, "You should change clothes. You smell like puke."
Yeah.
It's
They're the
so
highlight.
good.
Those two.
And then
Their
at the
little love
end,
story.
it
Dermot and Claire Danes are a weird couple.
Yeah. But they're both hot and
Because
a
they
little
bond
bit,
over
like,
stupid
lame.
shit. Yeah. They're both hot and lame.
Their stupid shit is like monks and
Tibet.
travel. It's
Yeah.
like, you
And
think
it's like-
you're so esoteric.
Exactly. It's
Like,
like
maybe eat a French fry. One thing I'll say is it's a really well written and directed movie, and like instead of there being a title card that's like 1 year later or like 3 years later, at the end there's a time jump, and you get the time jump right away because the deaf gay guy and his
have a
boyfriend get out of the
adopted
car
child.
and they now have a kid, and so
Yeah.
you know,
It's next
and they go
Christmas.
in, and then everyone's there. Sarah's with Luke, Claire's with Dermot, and you realize Diane isn't there,
Yeah.
and then it pans to.
the photo.
Well, then it goes to Amy hanging up an ornament, and that's when I started to bawl. I'm gonna cry now. And then it goes to the photo, and it's just like, this is what Christmas really is. Even though they start with indulging in the crowded house fantasy, they end on like death and complication and everyone hating each other, and like that's the real world.
That's the real Christmas.
That's the real Christmas.
Yeah. So yeah,
So that's Family Stone.
Yeah.
The jury rests its
the
case.
jury rests its case. Nothing more to say.
We have a few other people who the prosecution wants to call to the witness stand. One is the cast and crew of Die Hard. Which, low-key, I have
Had you seen it before?
I had maybe seen it once. I don't have as many
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is like
make.
action.
It's action. I think like the main takeaway is no one ever really did it like Bruce here in terms of sexuality. He's sweaty, dirty, bloody.
Yeah.
Starts in clothes, then a tank, then shirtless. I'm gonna. He's also really hot in Pulp Fiction, but this is him at his damn best.
Yeah. The wife beater that like goes down so low. It's like completely stretched out.
No, the tits weren't even rivaled by Pamela Anderson. Let's keep it to.
What I'll say about Die Hard is if you don't know it, I mean, just
do it.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
You can probably guess what it's like. He's a rogue cop.
Well, let
visiting
me
his
say,
wife
like,
in LA.
corporate Christmas parties I need in the 80s.
Yeah.
The girl who's, like, getting fucked on the desk.
Yeah. Tits
Her
out.
tits were almost as good as Bruce's.
Okay, so Bruce is a cop from New York. He comes to California
to visit
LA,
his, like,
visit his
wife who he's not getting
wife
along
who's they're separated right now.
Oh, they're seppy?
Yeah, because they
have septum piercings.
She took a job in LA to work at this company, and he is staying in New York. He kind of thought she would be back with the kids, but she's like excelling at this job.
I didn't quite get why they were so unhappy.
Well, I like that. It's like that's
me too. Like that's real life.
Oh.
Someone's vacuuming outside. Your
Is that outside?
across the street neighbors, low key, are a pain in my ass.
Oh yeah.
Where would you think it was?
Sometimes it's very loud in the alley.
You know, I famously stayed here once, and there was a couple fighting outside your bedroom window at like 2 a.m. And finally, I screamed out the window, "Can you go inside?" And they did.
What they deserve to hear.
They were fighting awful. Like, I hope they broke up.
I think I have never.
I feel like
fight.
They definitely did.
Okay, there's a lot of debate as to whether or not this is a Christmas movie because it's an action film, but it just takes place on Christmas.
I think it is, and I like to believe that we can expand the form beyond just strudel and dinner.
Strudel and dinner. I like to think we can go beyond strudel and dinner too.
Yeah.
And that's certainly where we are here, except the enemies are German, so that's some strudel.
Which, let me say, low-key, and I hope this doesn't cancel me, but, like, kudos to them for making the terrorists white.
Yeah, in that time.
You know, like, I feel like the trope is to go racist with it.
Yeah. But no, they're the bad Germans.
They're the bad Germans.
And this is Alan Rickman at age 40, first on-screen appearance.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
what?
never too late, folks.
Oh, that is so heartening. Like, we all still could do it.
We also could do it. And he is so good.
The 40's coming up.
Yeah.
Wait, are you kidding?
Yeah. And he's amazing. This German villain became like an archetype for all villains.
I mean, just look at Casino Royale if you need to.
Yeah.
One of the greats. I'm going to have Phoebe on to do James Bond. I just realized that's heaven. He wrote the book on villainy with an accent.
Oh, cool.
Is that what you're saying? No. Oh, wait. I was building off you saying he wrote the book.
Yeah, he changed what a villain could be.
Yeah, and he's doing his Severus Snape drawl.
Yes, but with a German accent.
German.
I love when he goes, "It's Christmas time, Theo. A miracle is possible," or something like that.
You know what I love?
He's like, "Get in the spirit. A miracle is possible."
I don't know why, but when you're doing that voice, I'm freaking out. It's just like,
I'll drop it.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Dropping it.
Sorry.
No.
Don't mean to shame you. I just like...
I'll never do it again.
No, do it one more time. Come on. Do another line.
It's Christmas time, Theo.
That was better.
Oh, yeah. That's not how he does it.
It's Christmas time, Theo. That
was really painful for me.
I know. I feel really bad. I'm sorry. I think I was just trying to be funny in a mean way.
That's fine.
But then also, it did sort of just like...
It didn't feel right. I wasn't nailing it.
It felt a little weird.
I didn't remember the line.
I want to bring up. Obviously, the vibe will be incredibly weird the rest of the episode. I want to bring up when he murders the guy and sends him down in the elevator and then has written in blood on his tank top, "Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho."
Yeah.
Love.
That's great.
Gag.
That's Christmas spirit.
I'm huge and gun culture, but in this movie, I'm like, and Home Alone, I'm like, just bring the guns back.
Yeah.
Like, let's just do it.
This movie has a lot in common with Home Alone. One against many. Defend your home.
Except for the fact that, I mean, I guess it is kind of anti-cop, but at the end it goes pro-cop a bit, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Here's something. Bruce raising his eyebrow in a scrunch.
Huh?
It's sexy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Almost everything. There's not a moment where I don't think he's attractive.
How hard do you need to do it with him?
It's hard. Die Hard. That hard.
I feel so bad
Hard
about
as
shaming
death.
you before. Like, you never deserved that. I feel awful.
Thanks.
It's the booze.
Yeah. Blame it on the booze.
I'm a cruel drunk.
You're a mean drunk. No, I heard it. I think it's because of my vocal fry.
It was just like a little
popping off.
Yeah.
Which I hate.
Wait, what do you mean?
I
Is
hate
that a
that I
California
have
thing?
vocal fry.
I have vocal fry, and I'm from Milwaukee.
I don't think it's a California thing. I mean, it is prevalent. It's an epidemic. I'll kiss your fucking Dalmatian.
What part is that?
It says that at the cops when they're coming the first time.
I'll kiss your fucking Dalmatian.
Yeah, he says, I'll kiss your fucking Dalmatian.
I don't understand.
No, I think it's the firefighters. He's kind of getting them confused.
Because of the stereotype that firefighters would, for some reason, have a Dalmatian, which would they?
They do.
What would that help with?
Historically, I don't know.
Dogs can, like, walk through fire better?
There's a reason for that.
I do want to bring up shooting through the table. And then, here's great. So, you get it. Bruce is, like, sneaking his way under the table. Someone's shooting at him over the table. But for some reason, not shooting through the table. And then he goes, next time you have the chance to kill someone, don't hesitate. Then Bruce shoots up at him through the table and kills him and goes, thanks for the advice.
This movie is full of little quirky one-liners. When he's in the air vent.
Yeah.
And he's shimmying through and he's like, now I know what it feels like to be a TV dinner. I'm like...
Because it's like a microwave?
No, because he's like boxed in, I guess. Who knows? Apparently a lot of this movie was ad-libbed.
Really? Mm-hmm. That reminds me, I was reading about Home Alone and John Candy, who plays like the tuba player or whatever. He's like an SNL alum.
Yes.
So he is like a comedy legend and he could only do all his scenes in one day of filming. And he agreed to be paid like $400 total, and the compromise was he was the only one allowed to ad-lib by Chris Columbus, and so he did like all ad-libbing with his lines.
He's not that funny to me.
No.
He's actually like sad. He travels 51 weeks a year and he has kids. I'm like,
I know.
Right.
I did enjoy that, like, yeah, people have sad lives, like, let's show that.
You're right.
But
and
it was like, it wasn't funny.
Players. Comedy just doesn't age well, especially like SNL comedy.
SNL comedy doesn't age well. Like, you look back and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, so...
Except for Kristen Wiig going, and I'm Judy's!
Do you think, though, that actually will age well? Like, it'll always be funny to us.
Yeah,
but I don't know
for the
if
kids.
it will. I don't know if it will.
I don't
Why
think
are we
kids,
any different from our
do kids
parents
even
and
like
their
to
SNL?
laugh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Die
deja
Hard
vu.
because of its visual aesthetic. It's like a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, either the cinematographer or the director was obsessed with Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh God,
So
architecture is heaven.
it's like it just has
The
that
Brutalist.
vibe, and the sunset is so orange.
Yeah, and then
all
sliding
the
down
shots.
roofs.
Yeah, I just love that it is a beautiful film
I really do.
as well as an action.
And
Iconic
I think
performances. I honestly zone out when the guns are firing.
Yeah, I actually did end up doing some like cooking and cleaning while the film played. I will say I love this movie, how it deeply objectifies Bruce Willis as a sex object, as it should. Yeah. What else is there to say here?
That's all I got. I mean, I could say other stuff, but it's all very basic.
Okay, so let's move. Can I quickly circle back to the Trinity?
Mm-hmm.
So again, these movies, I didn't bother to research when they came out, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer follows Rudolph being born with a red nose. Everyone's making fun of him. You've heard this song. And then there's an elf who wants to be a dentist. He doesn't fit in. They end up on an Odyssetic adventure with this guy whose name is escaping me, but he's like a pickaxe guy. Yukon Cornelius. And he's like looking for gold and silver. They end up on this thing. Then they go to the island of misfit toys. We're on the island of unwanted toys. Oh, and then there's like a abominable snowman. And then Rudolph saves Christmas. Heaven.
So inventive.
And he has a girlfriend named Clarice. It's inventive. It's cool. Are you being sarcastic?
No.
No. It's also it's so cool, the animation. Like, it's amazing.
I've seen it. The photos.
Oh, you have?
Clips.
You looked
if
at
you will.
Clippies?
I've
Okay.
seen clips.
So it's just super amazing. And then Santa Claus is coming to town is when Santa doesn't believe in Christmas cheer, takes a year off. There's no snow. These kids in Florida are like, we've never had a white Christmas. I'm low-key blanking on who the heroes of this movie are, but they go to get Snow Miser to put snow on. And then there's Snow Miser and Heat Miser. He's Mr. Heat Miser. He's Mr. He's Mr. Heat Miser. He's Mr. 101. They call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch starts to melt in my clutch. I'm too much. Then he has like a little mini Heat Miser. Oh, it's heaven. And then Snow Miser, who has icicles on his nose. It's just heaven. And then Year Without a Santa Claus is maybe the best one from a story perspective because we're in this little like German frosty town and there's Burgermeister Meisterburger, who's this like fascist mayor of this gray town who won't let there be presents. And Kris Kringle goes into the woods, is raised by elves and meets a winter warlock who I've mentioned on a podcast episode with Peyton Dix, well-known celebrity, about a song where the winter warlock thaws out and he goes, put one foot in front of the other and soon you'll be walking across the floor. Put one foot in front of the other and soon you'll be walking out the door. And then it's Santa's origin. These movies are just fabulous.
They're fantastical.
They're fantastical.
They're all over the place.
They're beautiful. They're amazing. Highly recommend. I wish I was able to offer more, but you get it. Like,
You've
they're
offered a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You've been offering.
I've been offering, right? Now, should we mention The Holiday? This is a Nancy Meyers.
Sure.
Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, Jack Black.
People love it.
People love it. I have a good friend who loves it.
I love...
I think Kate Winslet's really bad in it.
Yeah, I mean, her
I think
character is
it's
tough.
bad writing. Like when she
Yeah.
gets to Cameron Diaz's house and is like, I'm like, this is cringe.
It's also like it doesn't feel. I don't know. There's
They're too hot for it to feel realistic. That they're all just like, I'm a loser. I'm bad at love.
Yeah,
And they're all
exactly.
like supermodels.
Exactly. I haven't seen it at least since last year. Cameron Diaz is annoying.
She's annoying, and
Which
I
is
think
very
she's normally
rare. I love
great.
her.
But she's fucking annoying in it because she's so hot and pretty, and she's like, I have nothing, even though she has a mansion, a hot boyfriend, a great job. I'm like, fuck you, bitch.
And they both get with these people. I don't buy the chemistry with either of them.
Jude Law's a freak. I always liked him, and then I realized I don't. And my ex-boyfriend hated him, and now I'm like, you know what? You spilled.
Yeah. I mean, he has like the fakest tan
Yeah.
ever.
He should have
Which
played
weirds me
Gilderoy
out
Lockhart.
for some reason.
That would have been
he
tea.
would
Can
have
you
been
imagine?
great.
Like, Kenneth Branagh did not eat there.
Yeah, I don't buy Kate and Jack Black.
I know. I'm sorry. Like, no shade, but
I
like,
just don't buy it.
what?
Uh-uh.
Why is Jack Black?
And then like they have this weird character who's like a Hollywood legend, and
You mean
the
the neighbor?
Yeah, the music, the soundtrack in The Holiday is horrible.
Oh, but you know what? I forgot to mention in Home Alone, the score is so amazing and was Oscar nominated by John Williams as for original song.
Yeah. Actually, I guess the soundtrack for Holiday is kind of good.
I can't remember what's in it. The Holiday sucks. I'm sorry. It's like
Yeah, it's just
really
bad. It's
poorly
just all
written.
over the place.
It doesn't.
Two plots.
There is one thing I loved, which is at the beginning I had hope because Kate Winslet is monologuing her ass off, and she's like, "Sorry,
It starts
I'm getting
strong.
a phlegm attack."
I think
And
it starts strong.
I agree with you. And she's like, she's talking about like love stories.
Yeah, because she writes wedding announcements.
Yeah, or
and
something.
She's in love with her coworker Jasper.
And then she goes, "What about the other love? It's called unrequited love. Of that I am an expert." Oh, stuttered. "Most love stories are about people who fall in love with each other. But what about the rest of us? The people who fall in love alone?" And like, well, obviously she doesn't actually know what that's like because she's like a hot Oscar-winning actress and she's fucking
might.
her hot boss. I mean, maybe she actually.
know.
You're right. But I was just like, I was thinking about that. How it's like movies and books tell stories of people who like have a love story, but like so many of us, and by the way, like I've had plenty of love stories and I'm lucky to call myself someone who has, but some people, like there is just a lot of stories about like unrequited love and like the pain of not finding love, and like those are stories that exist.
I love seeing those stories
Yeah.
on screen.
Yeah.
Unrequited love.
Me, of course, having had
screen.
one of the great loves of our time.
Rub it in.
And
why
all
don't
time.
ya?
Yeah.
Any other things from the holiday?
I will say her boss that she's in love with looks like Jude Law,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
which is her brother.
Yeah.
And then I will say Cameron and Jude are in the car, like not talking and just looking at each other. I'm like, wow, they're really comfortable with long silences having just met.
Mm-hmm.
I think the holiday low-key sucks.
It does. The cottage, though, is super cute.
And so is Cameron
And apparently
Diaz's
this
mansion.
movie inspired a bunch of people doing home swaps.
Oh, yeah?
Like even apps,
Me and
services.
Marius.
Yeah.
In Berlin.
Yeah.
I should hit him up.
Guys, we're inspired.
Okay, so the jury doesn't rest their case quite yet.
I also don't like the holiday when it's in LA because it doesn't feel like a Christmas movie
No.
at all.
I'm sorry, but if it's not snowy, like it's not Christmas.
Barely. I mean, but they have to talk about it being Christmas.
Yeah, and they
If
have
it's not
to
snowy,
like
they have
put
to, like,
stuffing
put
around
Santa
to represent
around.
snow.
Yeah.
Other Christmas movies worth mentioning.
Love Actually is a
Love Actually is heaven.
famous one. Yeah.
It just
I
got,
like it because it is a famous one.
I like it because it's a Keira Knightley vehicle, even though she's barely in it. But you know what's
Everyone
funny?
is barely in it.
Do you know Keith
it's
McNally?
Like a 12
No, it's
hander.
like too many people. Severus Snape returns. He's a dick to Emma Thompson. Do you know Keith McNally? He like owns Balthazar. And he has
Yes.
this Instagram. Did you see this post? He like
Yes.
posted a blurry
He's
screenshot
so
of
unhinged.
Love Actually's
I love when
poster,
he
and the
posts
caption
that.
was like, "This movie is trash. It's so stupid."
I
was like,
love
go
when
off.
he posts blurry screenshots
Totally.
to Instagram.
I love when
Great.
anyone posts blurry. I need to post
course.
blurry. Edward Scissorhands, I would actually consider a really strong contender for best Christmas movie.
I really like some plots in Love Actually.
Which
more
ones?
than other ones.
I like the one with Hugh Grant and the assistant.
Oh, Natalie.
Monica
Her name is
Lewinsky.
Natalie.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Does
The
that
Monica
freak you out when you
Lewinsky.
see people with your name? Like, I luckily barely ever have.
No,
had
but
that.
I also remember being like, oh yeah, Hugh Grant is hot in this. And I'm like, is he hot or is he just saying my name a bunch? Like, I don't think I would fall. I usually don't find him
He's
attractive
hot. Wait,
in
what?
his films. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I find
I'm kind
him
of
to be
pissed at how pompous he is.
annoying. Pompous.
But he is hot.
prick, as they would say.
He
across
is
the
a
pond.
prick. He is a prick, and he would admit to that.
I like the Laura Linney plotline of Love Actually.
Oh, see, I don't because she like fucks it up.
I know, but that's real to me. Like sometimes we just fuck
but it's
stuff
so
up.
tragic.
It's sad, but
Oh, you know what the best one is?
I like
the
sad
porn
movies.
stars. So do I.
That
Let's
is
watch
a good
Atonement.
one.
The porn stars are good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe I didn't even think to offer this. I have a whole nother big nom. Have you heard of Just Friends?
Yes, I haven't
you
seen
seen
it
it?
in years.
But you have seen it.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was very funny.
I'll just say, like, Ryan Reynolds annoys me, and he does
annoys
wear a
me.
fat suit in it, which like I guess it was a different time, but he's like weird. And Amy Smart just like is weird, and like their whole straight plot line is kind of weird. But it's a Christmas movie that's really funny actually. And Anna Faris plays this like crazy deranged pop star, and I would give her an Oscar nom for it. She's so funny.
I love Anna
Forgiveness
Faris.
is more than saying sorry. That's her song.
Oh, I
To
love
forgive
fake
is
songs in
divine.
movies.
So let's have a glass of wine and have makeup sex until the end of time. She's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother who's like jerking off to her is hot. Yeah.
Elf, you saw it this week.
Elf is a little annoying.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell like doesn't always give in the way I need.
You need him to give differently. He's kind of one giving speed.
I do want to see Will and Harper, which is him and his trans friend.
Yes.
Or his trans friend and him, rather.
Centering the narrative.
It still was his centering, I guess.
It's
Harper
a
and her friend.
Two-parter.
Other Chrissies? Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas is tea.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, come on. That's a Halloween movie / like a Disney
That's a
nerd
Halloween movie.
But it does have one of the best worlds in Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if you ever had the pleasure. That's like the Disney video game.
Oh,
where they go to
that's
different
unlocking
worlds.
something
Yeah.
in me.
They like have different worlds for all the movies. It's so cool. I played at my friend's houses in high school, and like the Nightmare Before Christmas world is so fucking cool.
I remember this vaguely.
That's
That's all I got. Oh,
All right.
I used to love when I was a kid, The Last Holiday with Queen Latifah.
Oh, see, I always was confused about the holiday. I was
and The
thinking we were
Last
talking about the
Holiday.
last holiday. Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's
a
I mean, I
Christmas
think
movie?
it's like a bad movie, probably.
Okay.
But it is a Christmas movie, The Last Holiday. It's her last Christmas. She thinks she's going to die from a tumor.
Yeah. And does she?
No, because it's just the MRI is spitting out tumors for like all these people who don't have any issues.
It's kind of like the opposite of Aaron Brockovich, which is Heaven. I watched on a plane recently.
It's so good.
And then I watched Eileen, which sucked.
Yeah, I know.
Sucked. And I loved the book. Tessa Malshfeg's like my favorite author
I
these
don't
days.
think all books.
But I don't think it was a good book to
I
adapt.
don't think it's a novella too. It's like a short book.
I'd still give it novel status.
Okay.
So, okay, going into jury's deliberations, your number one is,
Family Stone.
and mine was Home Alone. Jury, go backstage and deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you ready to say your
Yep.
new fave?
3, 2, 1.
The Family Stone. So you
I
didn't.
won. I won.
So you didn't change.
And I won.
It was so good. Oh, because when Diane dies, I bawled. I forgot
Yeah,
to mention
yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe I didn't.
I mean, Home Alone is iconic, but
I would also say Just Friends is actually so fucking funny.
okay, well, that's on. Thanks.
But the
giving me
Ryan
something to
Reynolds and
look
Amy Smart
forward
part, which is
to.
the main part, is sucky.
Yeah.
And I would say the Trinity is amazing. Home Alone's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, yeah. But Family Stone
I
takes
won.
the cake. You won.
We won
Who are you in the 8?
of the Family Stone.
Yeah, who are you in Family Stone?
Well, as I've said, we've all been all of them.
Yeah.
But right now, I am.
I'm Amy. She like doesn't have a job and she's like, yeah, I'm Amy. Oh no, I'm Luke. No, I'm Amy.
I am going to go with Claire Danes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, she's
I
gorgeous.
feel like I don't know, like I travel a lot and I'm always like, yeah, I was just in Florida. I saw the most amazing things. And it's annoying. So I'm annoying myself.
The only reason it annoys me is I want you here more so we can hang. Although I do low-key still catch you a lot.
Yeah.
On
You
your
more than
days.
anyone.
Yeah, it's tea.
You find a way.
I better get this fucking job.
Yeah. All right.
I still might. Okay, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas.
holidays if you don't
Merry
celebrate
Christmas, you
Christmas.
filthy animals.
I'm not religious, so like it's not like a religious thing. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Babbling On is going to take a brief hiatus. Call this the finale of season 1. We'll be back in the new year with some great stuff. If you'd like to be on the pod and you're listening and you have a topic in mind, please reach out. We're always looking for new perspectives here. And
you don't want me back?
We're looking to sort of replace some of our current contributors. No, we have some things on the books.
It's true. We have a Valentine. I'll be back for Valentine's
Yeah,
Day. Guess
Natalie's-
the topic.
Guess the Valentine's topic.
Guess
If you get
it's
it
a movie.
right, you get a free date with me, but you're paying because you're older and taller than me. If you are older than taller than me and you're listening, please do reach out. It is Christmas after all. And if you're in New York over Christmas, please do reach out.
Opposite of Home Alone. You'll be in town.
Wait,
You know-
isn't that the same as Home Alone?
No, sorry. The families are all like leaving. It's like, sorry. The joke I'm trying to make there is like, you're trying to deter burglars from like coming to your apartment by
I'm
being like, I didn't explain that at all.
Wait, I still don't get it.
Like you're going on the air being like, I'll be here.
But isn't
I'm
that
here.
trying to deter burglars? Like, I would say
That
I'm
is
leaving
deterring
if it's burglars.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know.
Okay, right. If you're a
Yeah.
burglar, though, and you're hot and... Yeah, come by.
You could look like,
I'm trying...
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Well,
And...
we stuck the land. Sorry, I really
New Year's
didn't mean
wish?
to
Do you want
that.
to say a New Year's wish?
I'm not ready.
Neither am I. We make Nutella raviolis and we make calamari. Those are some traditions I forgot to mention. But I won't do that this year. You think I'm paying for squid? I only do that when mom's fronting the bill.
Yeah.
I hope my family listens to this one. They're coming in January. It's not like I'm not seeing them at all. So don't think I'm like that. Okay, so closing remarks.
Except that they will have a house sitter, so don't go to their house. Don't think that that's an opportunity
And don't think
to
I'm
burgle.
doxing them either. You don't get to know where they live.
That is a great
But
line
they
when
did
she's
leave
like, where do you live?
Milwaukee.
He's like, nice try, stranger.
Who says that?
Kevin in the grocery store with the clerk.
Oh, yeah. Wait, one thing is the clerk is like weird.
Yeah, it's
And she's like kind
he's
of
a kid.
hitting on him.
Yeah. He's just a kid.
Okay. Donald Trump at the plaza. That's fucked up. But it was a different time.
Yeah.
Okay, so Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa.
Mm-hmm.
And Happy Diwali.
Mm-hmm.
And Happy New Year.
Mm-hmm.
We love you. Thank you. Some people have reached out with the sweetest messages. And I hope if you're listening, like, shout out to you. Kudos. And it's just such a fun little, very little community that we're forming here. And you know what they say about little? You grow bigger as you get older. Are you wasted yet?
No.
Well,
I
we better
wish.
pour some more cocoa then.
Yeah.
You need to be nice and lubed up for your date.
That's true.
We're not cutting a single word of this one.
Great.
Love you guys. Bye, Babbles. Merry Christmas.
I'm gonna talk about all the things that I wanna talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Oh, we're babbling on. We're babbling
Babbling On is created, produced, and edited by Hilton Dresden. The theme song is by Benny Cortoletta, featuring Callie Baker, and is produced by Benny Cortoletta and Jack Grouse. The artwork is by Hilton Dresden. Audio consultation from Kenzie Woodrow and Dallas Seeker. Special thanks to Alec Cohen, Natalie Rotter-Waitman, Molly Montgomery, Nick Krause, and to everyone who has subscribed to Babbling On the Substack and refused to shut the fuck up.